The month of November was the slowest month we've had all year in the real estate market. And in today's video, I'm going to explain a little bit about why that's happened, tell you why or why it may not be normal and a return to some normalcy, and a few other nuggets that you're going to want to know if you're looking to buy or sell anytime soon. So in good news, mortgage rates haven't really changed. They're essentially flat with your 30-year conventional products. ARMs, actually, the best one that I've seen, went down a tick to about 5.25%. That's a 7-year adjustable rate mortgage. But this is a time where if you are potentially looking at buying a home here or somewhere else, make sure you are shopping rates. Make sure you're working with good lenders who not only can get the job done, but are competitive on rates as well. Now, inventory, a little bit of a flip-flop here. So we actually went up compared to where we were the previous month by about 3%. But here we are on December 6th recording this, and we are back down to 219, which is down a couple homes from where we started the month of November. So I think we're reverting back to normal here. Again, we had a very slow month in November in terms of homes going under contract, which I'm going to tell you here in a second, which would explain why we saw that increase. We normally would not have seen that, but nothing to really be too concerned about. Days on market flat, if not decreasing a little bit, and prices are still on the rise, both in the median and the mean. Now, new listings here fell off an absolute cliff, but that happens every single year in terms of new listings because this is not the time where most people are coming to town to look at homes. And as a result, as a seller, if you have the ability to be strategic about your timing on when you list your home for sale, this is not the ideal time. It still is perfectly fine to do so. There are still buyers out there, but it's not the busiest time compared to the rest of the year. So we should expect another decrease in new listings at the end of December and before we see things start to tick up again when January comes, and then it'll take off like a rocket ship when we hit February. Now, pending sales, here's another one. Again, fell off a cliff. Ignore the colors here. I forgot to update those, but from October to November, that is a substantial drop off. And if we look back into 2024, it is nowhere near the same. However, November is essentially equal. So really the difference is we had a massive October. We've had a busy year compared to last year. But now that we are in the true off season, things are getting back to where they should be. Closed sales are still very, very solid because, again, all those homes that are going under contract continue to close as well. Months of inventory for single family homes still very low. And normally this is where we would start to see it increasing, and maybe we will. Maybe we go back on trend. I have a hard time thinking we're going to be back in that 6 to 7 month of inventory anytime soon. I think that that market has been very, very solid and stable. With the sale prices here, again, leveling back out, coming back upwards. And if we were to show the mean is consistently increasing. So it's a strong market. Everybody still wants a single family home if they can get one. It's the prices that are keeping people away from purchasing more of them because they are very expensive. So days on market reflect that as well, right? When new single families come and people can afford them, they have the budget to do so, they're buying them very quickly. They're scooping them up because they're lovely homes for the most part. So days on market, I think, won't necessarily be dropping down below 50 consistently anytime soon, but that decrease is not terribly shocking as we've seen the year progress, as we've seen the market grow throughout 2025 compared to the previous 2 years. Condos, again, extraordinarily strong market here. Broken record time where this is where we are and where we will continue to be under 6 months of inventory, under a balanced market. This continues to be a seller's market. Now, that does not mean that sellers can ask for whatever price they want. We have plenty of homes that are just stale and have been sitting on the market for a very long time, either waiting for the market to catch up or they just have no motivation to truly sell. And that's normal here. That's not an anomaly. That's what we deal with. So when you are looking to buy, you have to be understanding that this does not function as a normal primary home market does. The motivation for most sellers simply is not there. That doesn't mean that you have to give up your firstborn child, but you're not necessarily going to be able to get a steal like you want to. But that median sale price for condos and mean, again, flattening out here, still increasing though on the whole, still very strong. And that is reflected again here in some low days on market hovering between 40 and 50. Now, speed is slowing down a little bit. Again, speed is my metric I created to show, hey, how many new listings do we need to see one home go under contract? Because that correlation is very, very strong. The more new listings we have had, that is when we tend to see the amount of homes going under contract increase as well. And this is just to help us measure how that ratio is looking. And it's been extremely strong. So as we look here, that decrease over the last few months in both the 6 and the 12-month ratios, it just means that this market is still moving pretty quickly, all things considered. Despite having more new listings than we've had in the past couple of years, the activity, the purchases have sped up as well as a result. So the market has been strong. It's going to continue to be strong. Now, I'm going to skip past the where we're going. Still going to talk about it a little bit, but this is the time of year where people start to plan ahead for the spring, whether that's sellers, whether that's buyers. What I can tell you definitively is that we really did not see deal season that we are used to. I have not seen many good buys that have closed or have gone under contract or even listed. Sellers seem to really have their heels dug in. And again, whether that's the motivational side of things, whether that's the aspirational side of things, a little bit of both. I don't anticipate that changing anytime soon, barring some real economic pressures, which is always a possibility. This will continue to be our new normal. And some of those charts have shown very definitively, starting in 2019, we had our last normal year pre-COVID, pre-mortgage rates dropping down to 2, 3%. Then they came back up. So for the latter part of 2022 to now, all metrics have been mostly stable. They've been pretty consistent and predictable. And that's because everything else hasn't really changed. So we are in a stable market. We are in a strong market. And Ocean City is likely to remain that way for a long, long time. So thanks for hanging out with me today. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me any of the ways you see here. But I look forward to seeing you soon here in town. And I hope you have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.